Hi, today let's change this transformer from this stereo. This is a LA4440 IC based stereo, and these things are quite popular and quite cheap in India nowadays. They provide a good sound even with cheap hardware. This set was only 850 Indian rupees, but and it has a lot of features it has Bluetooth and all these 6 operators, volume, bass, treble, and so on. But whoever designed this needs design improvements. I won't disclose the brand, I will blur it out here. This transformer, when it comes out of the factory, these kind of transformers have two wires sticking out from it, from the primary side, and two from the secondary side. There's a rectifier on the board to convert from AC to DC, you can see, and there's a massive smoothing capacitor, 35 volt, and I think 2000 to 2200 microfarads. So they soldered these secondary side wires directly onto the board, which is okay, but they took some very thin wire and soldered it to the primary side and cut almost from the beginning of this wire, which makes changing the wire next to impossible. And I ripped this wire here, and just for this ripped wire we have now we have to change this entire transformer, which costs 350 rupees. So not this one, this is a 1.5 amp transformer. The maximum current output is 1.5 amps, but to operate near its peak values, this board requires at least 40 watts, that is uh, more than a bit more than 3 amps at 12 volts. But this transformer cannot supply it, so at this configuration the best it can output is about 9 watts per channel. But if we fit a better transformer here, such as a 3 amp, it can output more current, more power, up to about 17 watts per channel. So that's another major design flaw. So we went ahead and bought a replacement transformer. Here it is, and it is heavy, so we're gonna take this one out and fit this one in there, and they said that it will perform even better. So let's do it. We have a lot of soldering to do. Removing this transformer from here is quite straightforward. The entire heavy transformer is held together with only two nuts and bolts, one here and another one here, and the opposite sides are just like this Phillips head screws, and there are lots of holes here, so we can fit any size transformer. And this one is actually bigger, so we have to do somewhat like this to fit it, and this is the current configuration, but it's too big for that. The best tools I have for this is this screwdriver and this needle nose pliers, at least 30 years old. These are not the best tools for this purpose, but they will work. Now let's cut these wires, and we need to keep them as long as possible. And now it's a real pain to get this thing out of the chassis. One of them is out, I think, and the bit just fell off my screwdriver. It's a fairly long thing. This one is too tight. Getting this nut out, getting this bolt out of here is hard, because there are a lot of there's a mess of wires tangled on the other side. And I think this is out, and here I have to cut this wire too. And you can see here's the old one. It says power high transformer. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. And the bottom is red, I don't know why. And it says plastered surfaces, gives it a long and something under this tab. Color ends, it gives long, it touches plastered surfaces. Probably it's a cutout from other metal thing, other reused, I think it is. So let's put the new transformer in and decide the best configuration to align the bolt holes. And here it is aligned perfectly. Not sure you can see, but here it is aligned like this, and this one is also aligned. And I just realized I placed it the wrong way. This is how it should go. We decided to join the wires and give it a test run before fitting it firmly in place. So let's do that. What in the world happened to the exposure now? And something happened to the phone and I can't set the exposure. I think it's enough light for you to see here. And here is the plug. Where is it? Here. And I don't know why is it showing a different color on my phone than it is in reality. But let's plug it in and hope it does not blow up on my face. And I won't connect the speakers now. I will just see if these lights glow. And these lights here, they glow when it is on, and these lights and this small mini LCD display thing. So let's plug it in, and everything is checked, and the lights are glowing. That means it's working, or I hope so. And let's discharge the capacitor, and it's working. The transformer is not hot, the IC is little bit hot, that's normal. And now let's bolt this thing in and solder everything together. Everything is bolted in place, and something happened to the exposure yet again. Now it's much better after I switched on the lights. So it is bolted in place, and it's the time to solder these wires together. I am now soldering the low voltage secondary side, because we are yet to buy the switches for the primary side. There will be one of these switches for the primary side, one of these switches, but this switch is just connected all the time. Let me show you what I mean. When I put it to continuity mode, I hope you can see it, and it should beep when I touch these together. The switch is in off position. Now if I check it, it beeps. The switch is in on position. Now also it beeps. So it's no longer a switch now. We need to buy switches, and after that we will solder these in place. For now, let's solder the secondary side. You need a lot of flux for this job, and that's what I have here. It's solidified, but it will work. and I hope it does not drop and damage the circuit board there. And another layer. Now it's firmly soldered in place. Some wet sponge to wipe this off. Not sure you can see it or not. So one side is done and we have to do the same to another side. A better camera angle this time, and sorry for the awful camera quality. This is the zoom of my Samsung F12. Samsung really has to improve their cameras. Cameras in low cost phones like this. And like last time, lots of flux. And a little bit less solder this time. This solder is actually flux cored, so you do not need extra flux, but I like to use flux. This side is done too. On the other side I have used too much flux, too much solder. On this side it's perfect. And let's clean the tip with some wet sponge, which is not totally wet, so it left marks on the sponge. Now let's use some music to test it. And this setup is very dodgy. We are plugging this wire directly on there. Please do not try this at home. There is a huge risk of getting shocked. So here's the wire. Wait, where is it? Here. And we will test the Bluetooth functionality. And I hope the microphone is catching my voice now. We are going to plug this in, and you may hear a voice saying that it's Bluetooth or Bluetooth mode, something like that. And I will place the microphone there.
Bluetooth mode.
I think you heard that voice. I think I need to raise the volume a little bit. And there we go. Let's play some music on it, non-copyright. It should say that it's paired with something.
Paired.
Yeah, paired. And this is just a non-copyright music. I can't play copyrighted music, or else I would have tested the bass. It's Non Piu Andrai by Ron Maxwell, sung by Ron Maxwell. I'm sorry if I am not pronouncing the name correctly. And it's composed by Mozart.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girando, delle belle turbando al riposo, oggi situato giro d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, oggi situato giro d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color,
Everything seems to work. So now it's down, now only remaining
Disconnected.
Yes, now the only remaining thing is to get some switch and solder it onto here and then solder the mains wires together. So that is it for today's video. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Now I have to solder this switch in place, and I won't be able to record everything of it because I am in a hurry. So this is it for today's video, and see you in my next video.